Hello and welcome. My name is Ed Newton with Newton Wealth Management. We put these podcasts together to help you as you continue along the path to achieve and maintain a worry-free retirement. We hope you'll enjoy this one and find it beneficial. I'm often asked, how much do I need to save for retirement? You may or may not know that I'm also a CPA, and when I'm asked a tax question, my answer is almost always, it depends. And that is usually the correct answer in about 99% of the cases. Tax law is very complex, and therefore you have to know all of the circumstances behind something before you can really give a good answer. Well, the investment answer in this case, how much do I need to save for retirement, is pretty much the same answer. It depends. Our rule of thumb is that someone should save approximately 15% of their income annually. This includes your employer contributions, though, so it could be somewhat less in your own case. It depends on your current age, when you plan to retire, what your retirement lifestyle is going to be, whether it be planned or hoped for. It also depends on how much you've already saved. Living your retirement dream the way you want to means saving now, but how much is enough? Let's start with 15%. And as I say, that's pre-tax, so on your gross income, and then adjust it for any circumstances that might apply to you. For example, if you're making $75,000 gross and netting $55,000 or take home of $55,000, you want to base the 15% on the $75,000, your gross income. We're also assuming that you start at about age 25. But no matter your age, let me give you two examples. I have a young pilot that's a client. He's in his mid-20s, right around 25 or so. He has been very good about starting his savings plan. With his airline, he is putting away the maximum that he can, which in the long term is going to be very good for him. On the other hand, I've got a client that came in that was 55 years old, and for his own circumstances, whatever they may have been, he had not been able to put away much money. His question to me was just like I posed at the beginning. How much do I need to retire? His mandatory retirement age is 65. My question to him was, where are you going to get a job when you're forced to retire? He had some money in his retirement plan, but he really had not been putting away as much as he, quote unquote, should have. So my answer was true in that he's just going to have to find another job. There's no way he's going to be able to retire at the age of 65, given what his current situation is. So what's the basis for my coming up with the 15%? Many studies have been done, and they found that people need about 55% to 80% of their pre-retirement income to live in retirement. It doesn't all have to come from retirement savings. You can look at Social Security, an employer pension plan that you might have, and I want to give you a great big caveat right here. Don't count on your employer's defined benefit plan. Unfortunately, I know a lot of folks, and quite honestly, it was myself included, that had a defined benefit pension plan from our airline. The airline went bankrupt. The bankruptcy judge terminated the employer pension plan completely, leaving the pilots with no retirement income. And of course, if your employer does have a match to the 401k, that also helps to reduce that 15% that I talk about. Now, the question is 15% enough? Going back to my two examples, starting early, that's the single most important thing you can do. So for you young folks out there that may be listening, I can only encourage you to start saving now. Sure, your friends are going to live in very nice homes. They're going to have mortgage up to the hilt. But I promise you, if you'll start early in your saving, you're going to be much happier when it comes retirement time. Another thing you may have to do is delay retirement. As I was talking about the previous gentleman, he can't delay his retirement. He has to retire at 65. But he's going to have to find another job. If you want to retire earlier than the 67 that I'm talking about in general, which is the full retirement age for Social Security recipients now, you've got to save more. Another way to compute the amount you may need is to start with your expected annual expenses at retirement. Reduce that by your Social Security and other sources. Now take that net number and divide it by 4%. That's a rough estimate of the amount you will need to sustain spending during your retirement years. This is based on historical average returns over a long period of time. So let's say that you expect your post-retirement expenses to be $50,000 a year after your Social Security benefits you might get or any other benefits that you might have coming in. So your own personal savings now, you've got to come up with an additional $50,000 per year. That means you're going to have to accumulate about $1,250,000 in order to be able to sustain that $50,000 withdrawal per year. While I can't tell you exactly how much you need to put away every year in order to have a retirement that you can sustain, I hope that these comments give you something to think about. We hope this information has been useful to you. Our goal at Newton Wealth Management is to help clients achieve and maintain a worry-free retirement. We are a fee-only firm. That means we don't receive commissions or any other compensation from the investments that we utilize. We have a fiduciary responsibility to our clients, which means that we always put your interests first. If you haven't set a plan or not sure that your plan is appropriate for your goals, we would be happy to talk with you and see if there's anything we can do in order to get you on track so that you too can achieve and maintain a worry-free retirement. If you have $250,000 or more of investable assets, I would invite you to visit our website at www.newtonwealthmanagement.com. There you can find out more about our firm and the services we offer. Again, the website is www.newtonwealthmanagement.com. From the website, you can also contact us to request a no-obligation, no-fee consultation. We look forward to hearing from you at www.newtonwealthmanagement.com.